Hi guys, it's Dave here from Metal Roos, and I've got Michael Kiske. How do you pronounce that? Sorry,
Kiske,
Kiske.
Kiske, with a short e, Kiske.
Yep, from Halloween. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just tired of the weather here at the moment. Everything is like cold, gray, and wet.
Yeah, whereabouts
But
are you?
I'll be in Tenerife soon because we're start working on vocals and
Okay,
and we do that in Andy's place. So
okay.
it's like at the beginning of January I'll be in a better weather situation.
Beautiful. Is that I actually had a question for later, but I might hit on that now. Is that for a new album, a new
Oh yeah,
studio?
yeah, 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 that's it.
Nice. Can you
Yeah,
give us
it's
any?
pretty evolved already. Lots of songs, and since we got two main singers and a half, we're kind of figuring out what sounds best and what's working for each vocalist best. So it's fun. It's always fun. It was fun last time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds super fun. Yeah, just working out what do you guys kind of do? How do you kind of work out who does what?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We let Dennis Ward, who's the creative producer, so to speak.
Yeah,
I don't know how you call it. He's helping with the creative process and whatever. He often he gives suggestions. He knows both singers very well,
yeah,
and it's always. I mean, we are like the band is very chaotic.
yeah,
So it's like we always need someone there to organize things a little bit and stuff. So it's like he usually does suggest something and then we try it out. And if it sounds great and feels great, cool. But sometimes it happens that I don't feel comfortable or Andy feels like I should give it a try, and then we do that. I mean, we will have a few situations where we both are going to do that just to have an idea.
yeah,
What does it sound like? It's not a competition or anything like that, but there are certain things that Andy does way better, and then there are
yeah.
other things where I can shine. It's like,
Of course.
and you just have to figure it out.
Yeah, well, that's the upside of two singers is
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. When
finding their
when the
key.
first idea like that came up, I was like, well, that's weird. It's like when the first thoughts of doing some kind of a reunion, I thought something like, which is stupid looking at it now, but I thought that they wanted to maybe do like a Keeper of Seven Keys tour or whatever, just with me and whatever. But you can't do that. You
Yeah,
can't you can't design like another Halloween as a competition for the Halloween that existed the years before. So it was a great idea. And the only way to do it is like everyone together. And now I love it because not everything is on my shoulder. It's like
yeah,
you can share everything, and especially live. If you
yeah,
get sick, if one gets sick, you can just swap songs over, or you can just change the set list a little. You
yeah,
throw out like two songs of the singer who's not doing well, put two
yeah,
songs of the other singer in, and even share. I mean, Andy and I, we have like we communicate with eyes on stage. It's like sometimes when somebody is sick, you just like on the fly move parts over to the other person, and you can still make a good show even though one is fucked. And the same with Kai. Kai can be taking over vocal parts as well. which is
yeah,
which
yeah.
just makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, totally. That makes your whole touring circuit like whole lot kind of
Yeah, and
much
you
more
don't
prepared.
have to sing that much either. It's like if I would have to do a complete 2.5, or like 2017, we did more than 3 hours. I mean, we had a lot of
Wow.
video footage being played in the shows, but if
Yeah,
you do that all on your own, it's kind of demanding. It
sure.
really wears out, and that way it's an easy journey. I love it. I think I never want to do it differently anymore.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. So 40 years, 4 decades the band's been pumping away. How does that feel to be
Well, I
part
was
of
off
that?
the half of the time.
Yeah. Well, that's you had a
Yeah,
break.
I mean, it's like you realize you're getting old. But in the times that we're living, in terms of looking at the music culture in Europe, it's a benefit, really. It's like I mean, it's so difficult. for young musicians to get anywhere these days because you just don't have this the way it used to be. You know,
Yeah.
I just discovered an amazing female vocalist in Holland. I didn't know her. To me, she has the best voice I've ever heard. I love
Yeah.
the girl. You never heard of her, I'm sure. Davina Michel.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you gotta check her out. She has the best voice, the best control and passion. I just love her. But she would need to go on a big tour and support an act that
Yeah.
does her kind of music to be seen and heard by the audiences that would understand her. And that
Yeah.
used to happen through the record companies. They used to pay for that because it would have been promotion to sell their record. And since
Of
you don't
course.
sell records anymore, it's not going to happen. You know, it's like this is
Right.
one of many things that makes. And we're dinosaurs. It's like since we are there for such a long time, we have our fan base. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
we can tour, people show up, and they're like most of them are our generation. You have a lot of young ones too especially in certain countries that you attract.
Yeah.
But we have told our story. We have our history. We don't have to start a career now. So in a situation like that, that's a bonus. That's
Of
really
course.
something to be happy about. But I find it so sad because there are great musicians out there and everything is flooded on YouTube. Everybody can do everything. How to
Yeah.
get through there with what I mean, it happens occasionally,
Of
but it
course.
has been really difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
It's
the
just,
40 years, to answer that question a little bit, it's actually a good thing, I'd say. You know, if you want to be young, you want to be pretty, but in terms of the situation of the music culture in general, especially over here in Europe, I'm glad that we're not starting out now.
yeah. So you guys are you, the tour's coming up, or
No,
you
no,
already?
no. The tour is not going to start before October next year. We have like 2 years
Okay.
off.
Okay. Yeah. So you got that to look forward to, and then the release of the live at the Budokan album as well,
And a new record, and a
and the new.
new studio record, which we're on right now, which will be late summer release or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool. So with the Budokan album, that's when's that drop? December 13th. I've got.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I'm not informed.
Yeah. No, that's right. I've got it here. I'm pretty sure it's right.
Yeah.
So what made that kind of be the show that was picked?
Just because we got a slot to play there. It is we've tried to get a date to play there for a long time, but it is a busy place. In Japan, they do lots of things there. It's not just a music hall. I think they have fights there, wrestling fight. I don't know what they do there, but they do lots of
Yeah.
things there, and it's a
Lots
very
of things.
special place to them.
Yeah.
And we waited a long time. I mean, not us as a band. The management was trying to get the foot into that door,
Yeah.
and when we finally had the yes, we had to do it. And it was a great show. It was special. The show was much different than other shows, but the spirit was different. It's like you could almost like Christmas. I always say it's like the you could feel the people. For them, it's special. The place. I don't know how to describe it, but it felt different. The whole vibe
Yeah.
was different. I thought it was great. And of
Yeah.
course, you have to use it because it's such a famous place. I mean, when I grew up as a teenager, starting to listen to this type of music, that venue was always there were bands who recorded there, so it's kind of a cult place, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
So
had to.
that comes across on the. So I've watched a little bit of there's some stuff up on YouTube.
I didn't check it out. I didn't pay attention. I don't. I usually don't watch any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
I let them do it, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen a second.
It's really, really awesome. I watched everything I could get my hands on and watch. It was really, really good.
Okay, cool.
Quality is just it's amazing. So it's
Cool.
yeah, yeah,
Cool. I have no idea. I haven't watched it, to be honest.
yeah,
I just remember the gig.
yeah. So how was it kind of led us into the rehearsals and stuff like that, knowing that this was coming up and such a special place? It would have been quite intensive.
Not really. I mean, you always do the same thing. You know, you just practice the stuff, and it's a routine really to get the songs in shape and everything that you've forgotten, kind of re-remembering. I
Yeah,
mean, not really. It was just the same procedure.
yeah, especially
But when
after
we
40
got
years.
there, as soon as you get there, I love Japan. I always did. Japan is a very special country. It's like very disciplined. Everything works. You know, there's for a band to tour there, and you of course you get technicians in, and you need the help of the locals and whatever. Everybody loves playing Japan because they're so professional. When they tell you, you know, we do this and this and this, or you tell them you need that, it's happening. It's going to happen because they have a working ethos. So if you're there, always a pleasure. The people are very nice and friendly and very honest. It's the safest place on earth.
Yeah,
Nothing like girls can jog in the night in the park and nothing's gonna happen. You don't
yeah,
have that anywhere else in the world. You have that
nah,
only.
yeah,
It's I always love being in Japan. It's an amazing place. I mean, of course, we only see the chocolate side of it, but it's
yeah,
all I can say.
yeah, yeah. Where would be your favorite place to tour? Would Japan be it, or
There are a whole bunch, but Japan is up on the list. I also love South America
yeah,
because the whole country, even though it's a troubled country in many ways, you know, politically
of
and
course,
a
yeah,
lot of crimes and stuff like that, but the people have a spirit. The whole vibe of the country is so much more uplifting, especially as the Northern German spirit. You know, it's like
yeah,
the weather has an effect on how your soul. You know, the Germans tend to be more inside. You know, especially the Northern Germans. You know, they don't
yeah,
easily come out. That's because of the weather. You have the same thing in other northern countries. You know, and in South America, the weather is kind of educating them differently. It's just a great vibe there, and even the poor people have a better state of like a better uplifting and a more positive attitude than many rich people over here. You know, I don't know. I like the South American average people, like the fans, the young ones, the ones we get to meet. They're always great. You know, so this is South America, Japan, certainly favorites.
yeah. And you've been to Australia and
I've
played.
never been to Australia. We wanted to go.
I didn't think you.
I don't know about the other guys. I think they have been there without me before, but I can't
Okay,
tell you. I think they
yeah,
have been, but not during my time. We
yeah,
wanted to go. There was a date planned in 2020,
yeah,
but that tour never happened for obvious reasons.
yeah,
And it was something. It was just a test, of course, to see what's possible.
yeah.
We sometimes we do that. There are certain countries where we know, of course, we go, and there are other places where you have to test it out. And as far as I remember, we sneaked it in after Japan. I think the flight wouldn't have been that long, and something
That's
like that.
generally what people do. Yeah,
Yeah, it was planned. At the moment, it isn't, but I'm sure it's going to come up again. Yeah,
yeah.
I've never been even. I never even set foot on your country.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think it does get like with South Africa, it gets kind of people say they are kind of similar. So vibe wise,
yeah,
stuff like that. So
yeah.
you might actually like it.
Have a rock scene, don't you? I mean,
Yes.
AC/DC is coming from Australia. Not everybody. I think Brian Johnson is British, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, the music scene here is really good, and then like bands like yourselves coming over get a lot of support because like it's different to Europe where you've got bands touring all the time. There's tours all
Oh
the
yeah,
time. Everyone's
yeah.
always there. That doesn't happen so much here. So it, the support's probably a little bit more. The
Cool.
numbers aren't as big, but
Good.
yeah, the support is like quite strong.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna go.
Yeah,
It was planned, like I said, it was planned, but then the fucking pandemic made everything different.
yeah, yeah. How did you go through that?
Well, we were lucky. I mean, we just finished a big tour,
Yeah,
so we were able to just sit it out and wait it out. But other musicians who depend on being active. They
yeah,
really struggled a lot. Many ended their careers.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people working for bands switched jobs and just never switched back.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare to a certain extent, you know. In the beginning, it wasn't so bad. In the beginning, you just felt like everything slows down, and it felt like almost like almost positive, you know, if you can say that. Just everything
Yeah.
was slowed down. People started paying attention to their families. You know, I
Yeah.
did in the beginning, I didn't feel it so negatively, but then when you realize this is not going to go away anytime soon,
No.
that's when you started to worry. And then after a while, it became a nightmare because it all this fear that was generated by the media, all
Yeah.
this fear, this
Yeah.
machine made people really go nuts.
It did. Yeah.
You can notice like almost everywhere in the world some sort of extremism.
Yeah.
The extremism got boosted. And this is what always in every direction, left wing, right
Yeah.
wing, you know, it's like
Yeah.
people got extreme because of the fear.
Of course.
Fear is not a good thing to throw over humans.
I don't.
It's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree.
We
All
should
right.
have
Well,
dealt with it more bravely, you know.
yeah.
We had to do something, of course. I understand that, but
Of
the
course.
way
Yeah.
it was, this fear machine is just a nightmare.
It was really full on, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, time wise, we got to pull it up there. As you,
unbelievable. We're just warm onto it.
you're just warming up. It was absolutely great to meet you. I've listened to the band for a lot of years, so
Cool.
appreciate getting to talk to you and stuff like that. But good luck with the studio album, and obviously coming later, but the live at Budokan album. Hopefully, it goes well for you.
Cool, man. Thanks. Yeah, and let's hope that we're gonna come to your country soon. We'd love to go there.
Yeah,
And that's part of this job, you know, apart from the freedom that you have, you know, with being successful. When you're successful, you have
yeah,
all this free time on your hand, which is amazing. Freedom is precious,
yeah,
but the traveling, meeting other people of like as a young one already, as an 18-year-old, I was traveling the world. It's so healthy for you to
yeah,
meet humans everywhere on the planet. It just doesn't make you become a square, you know?
yeah. Totally. Yeah,
It's
it,
healthy.
it really is. All right. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time. We
Enjoy the
talk.
rest of your interviews.
Bye bye.
See ya.